Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Insider at Home, where we bring you the very best in show jumping. For my next guest, we won't travel the world or the seas, we travel the mountains now. From Valkenswaard's spiritual home of the Longines Global Champions Tour and Global Champions League, we go through Germany and into the Swiss Alps. That's where she was born. However, she's no longer in Switzerland. She moved more south to the area of Turin in Italy, Vinovo to be exactly. And that is where she is based. Together with her husband and her entire family, it is of course the Swiss Longines ambassador of elegance, Jane Richard Philips. Jane, great to have you on the show. Very welcome.
Hi, Frederick. Fantastic to hear you and fantastic to see you, actually. I'm glad to be together with you, all of you, this evening, and let's start it.
Yeah, super. Jane, first things first. Is it Jane Richard Philips or Jane Richard Philips?
So we are talking together in English, so I think it's better Jane Richard Philips. But actually, I'm speaking German, in my language, and this would be Jane Richard. But I don't think that you can spell this out in English.
I'm going to give it a go. I've got a long time now to practice for next season. So that's good to have that covered. Jane, you are in the area of Torino in Italy with your family. Your family is in Italy, but your family, wherever you go, wherever you travel, your family is always there. They seem to be a crucial factor in your life. Very special place in your heart.
Yes, exactly. My family is very important. We live all together here in Vinovo and we travel together around the world. And actually, my son, who is now bigger, he went with us everywhere, and this was a big luck for him. Actually, he became already a big boy speaking a lot of languages. It's getting a little bit more difficult now with the school because he also needs to learn and to grow up and to do other things. And actually, for the moment, we are not traveling because we are sitting here in Vinovo at home and hoping that this bad moment will go over.
Yeah. Let's not talk bad moments. Let's talk good moments. Noah is a very special boy, isn't he? Everybody behind the scenes on Longines Global Champions Tour and Global Champions League, everybody knows Noah. Not only the people behind the scenes, but all our viewers on Facebook Live or on the live streams. Noah's always there on the kiss and cry. Noah is always enthusiastic. We've seen him grow. We've seen him develop, and it seems. I think he's 9 years old now. It seems like he's really getting the essence of the sport because he's really living those moments.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Honestly, when I come out of the courses, I look at his face, and when I think, oh, what happened? I look at him and my smile is coming back again because he's such an amazing boy and he lives this sport together with me, these vibes, these emotions, everything. And he gives me actually also the power, to go through this. And he is lovely because if I come out, sometimes he tells me why you did this or what you did there. But he always tells me such in a nice way, these kind of things that it's honestly fantastic to have a boy like him.
Yeah, fantastic. If there's a boy and there's a mother, there's also a father. Inias Philips, who came from Belgium, moved to Italy, and that's where you met. He as well is an international rider, and also seems to be very important in your career. You switch horses around very often, actually, between you and your husband.
Yes, exactly. We are training together. We build up actually here our home in Italy, our center, La Maddalena in Vinovo. We switch horses. I ride sometimes his ones. He helps me to ride mine, and we help each other to get along, to grow up, to get better, to improve horses, because actually our basic is working with young horses and to produce them.
And that's really family business.
Yes, exactly. And also the parents of my husband and his sister, they are living here, and they have together with my husband the breeding farm, and they are helping each other, and we help out each other the best way we can.
The name of the equestrian center is very special, La Maddalena. Tell me about the equestrian center. What does it mean? What is it? How big is it? What should we think of?
Oh, La Maddalena is very special. When I came here to Italy and we had the opportunity to start to work on this place, it opened me actually a new life. And I live here very good. I'm very proud actually to be here in Italy and to have with my big family this center La Maddalena. It's a lot of work because it's very big. We have a lot of people working here inside. We have 100 horses here standing around. We have a lot of clients, a lot of junior, young riders. We also have people doing this sport just like fun and coming here in to go out in the evening and enjoy the nature, the animal. So it's a big place and a lovely place. And I hope that one day you can come and visit me.
I will do. I promise. Next time we're in Italy, we'll try to stop by and maybe we can take Noah to see a Juventus game or something.
He's for Torino!
Oh, the wrong call. So no Zlatan Ibrahimovic for Noah. Okay. Hey, James, so the breeding farm, the development of the horses, like you say, you work with a lot of young horses, but we've also seen you with a lot of horses over those, 7 years of launching Global Champions Tour and Global Champions League. But would you say that there is a specific Jane Richard Phillips horse, something that really suits you specifically?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I'm riding a lot of different horses. It's normal that everybody likes his type of horse. And if I need to speak about my type of horse, these are small horses with a lot of blood, with a lot of power, with everything you need to be as careful as possible, So real small fighting machines, that's actually my type of horse. But, if you have young horses and you build them up and you get along with them, you need to get along with what you have. And so there it is that we are actually on the point that who is very, very important for me. Don't change always these horses. Adapt yourself as best as possible to the horse, because you cannot change a big horse to a small, crazy horse.
Yeah, because you are a featherweight. You're a very light rider. You're not the tallest of riders, but you also managed to ride as well a horse like Kenya, your new horse that we saw in Doha at the beginning of the season. Like you say, a blood horse, a fast horse, a lighter horse. But you also managed to ride big muscular horses like Dieudonné or Pablo or horses like that.
You're right. I have a lot of different horses.
Jane, those horses, they've taken you around the world on these 7 years on the tour and the league. What do you like about the traveling? What talks to you the most about meeting all those new places? What do you like the most about the traveling?
So it's not actually only about the traveling, It's actually a big thank you to my horses to offer me a really special life. They make me travel. They make me seeing new places that I never would have been able to see in my life, And actually, it's unbelievable. And there I would love to say big thank you to Longines Global Champions Tour that they offer us all these fantastic, amazing shows. And it's just unbelievable, You cannot describe it when you are in Vinovo sitting in the sun, good food, good weather. But in 3 days, you are in Mexico, and in 1 week in Miami, and in 2 weeks after, you are sitting in Shanghai. So that's unbelievable. And I think it makes my life very special.
And it's remarkable about how you phrase it, because Nicola and Olivier Philippard, who we had also on the show a few weeks ago, said exactly the same thing. It is only thanks to the horses that we have the chance to make these trips, make these travels, and it's about the horses. But they do take us to special heights and to special places. It's a fantastic.
With my car, I wouldn't go. I tell you honestly. So it's actually only thanks to my horses and they are like my best friends. They are my best partners, and that's also the approach I have with them. If we are a team can work, and I try to be in the best team I can together with my horse to travel so far.
Yeah. Jane, you've traveled on the Longines Global Champions Tour, and we've seen you at many of the events on various locations. And in many of those locations, we've had, or you brought us great company. And I'm talking about Simon Baker, talking about Steffi Graf, André Agassi, Kate Winslet, and you're in a select group with them. You are one of those Longines ambassadors. You're a Longines ambassador of elegance. What does it mean to you being an ambassador for such a brand?
It's very, very special to be ambassador of Longines, and I'm actually very honored, and I cannot say thank you enough to be there, to grow up with them, to travel around with them. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic team, and that I would like to take this moment to say thank you very much for whatever you do for our sport.
Yeah, they are indeed a humongous drive, a very strong force in the development of the sport. So you've been on the tour since 2013, and then 2016 the Global Champions League starts. How was that for you? That brand new concept that comes out of the blue, all of a sudden, something that has never been done before. Teams, not with nations, or not with riders from the same nation, but teams being put together, being managed, teams that stick together all the time throughout the entire season. How did you look at that development?
I think it's a fantastic development, because in life, changements are good. They are important. In life, you need to go forward. You need to reach another level. What Jan and Edwina did with the Global Champions Tour, it's just amazing. And I think they are on the best way to go forward. And I wish them all the best to continue on this. We saw it in the last years, what happens with the league. We saw it last year in Prague, this final. This is other sport. This is just unbelievable. Okay,
so now we are there. Prague, 2019. If we look back at 2019, the regular season, is it fair to say that it was not satisfying, that you didn't get what you wanted? It just didn't roll. The season itself, it didn't roll.
So I had a very special season, because I started with Miami, Mexico, Shanghai, Madrid, and I went very, very well with my fantastic horse, Clipper. He went clear in Mexico, he was clear in Madrid. I had a fantastic show in Shanghai with other horses. The only issue about last year for me was that I had a big injury, and I had to go out for 3 months, and I had to stop. And it was very, very difficult for me to get into this season again. And I tell you honestly, I stopped after Chantilly in France, and I stepped just directly into the final in Prague. And this was unbelievable. And I couldn't believe myself, because I did one show before Prague, and this was World Cup in Verona, just to get into it. And when I was in Prague, I said, okay, I feel like this. My muscles are not 100%, you know. That's also when Clipper went so high on this fence and I went out of the saddle. My balance wasn't 100%, but it was also, I think, normal after such a big operation. And, you know, I think my head, my instinct of getting there and of doing something, I always had it also as a small child, and never will take me this away.
That sounds like a good thing to have. The regular season, the Can Stars finished in 14th place. With what? So the regular season you finish in 14th place. You have the surgery. It was quite drastic. It was intense. The recovery was long, and you only got back in shape just before Prague. With which ambition did you start that first round, the quarterfinals?
I say to you honestly, the ambition was very high, because my team members were very, very good last year. They gave the correct impulsivity, they were positive. They were always there to fight for the best, also if we had sometimes bad moments, but we always fight it for the best. And we were so much on fire, I tell you, in Prague, because we said to ourselves, we are not so bad, we are much better than what we think. And this spirit, I think, went from the first day until the last day. And we managed to get along together with this spirit and to fight until the end.
Quarterfinals, you didn't go in as great favorites, but you finished second and went straight into the semi-final. Semi-final, you qualified barely. I think it is, you were 1 second faster with 3 riders, 1 second faster than the Prague Lions, the home team. You kicked them out, and then you were qualified for the final.
Exactly.
So there's 1 day between the semi-finals and the final. What did you speak about? You were there with Abdel Said, you were there with Maurice Tebbel, who were on the team. What did you speak about?
Yeah, that's a good question. This was a very special moment because we said to each other, look, guys, now we are there. What do we have to lose? This was such a big step to get there. Now we even have to fight much more. We have to take this chance,
Yeah.
And I think if you watch the podium of the people who are coming there up with the grooms and my son and all the people around up behind every rider, you can see these emotions, from all our team. This was everybody was there just for fighting and getting better day per day, just doing every day more. And actually, it went like we wanted to do it. I say just the last round for everybody, for us, I think the emotions were so high that there it needs maybe a little bit more of experience. And that's why I tell you honestly, if I could do this last round once again, I would love to do this round again.
Because let's recreate that situation. Final. All the money at stake. We know how much money is attached. It's record prize money on GCL in the Super Cup. You make it into the final by 1 second. After round 1, you lead the Global Champions League Super Cup.
Yeah, exactly. And there, I think that was the point that was too much pressure because it's not that we couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it, just we could believe it because we were fighting for it, But the pressure became so high, and I tell you honestly, on myself also, I know I felt the pressure even on my horse, that this last round, he felt my pressure, I felt his pressure, everybody had this, and this was too much to handle, I think, and it was maybe better to start on the 3rd place than on the 1st place, to get from behind forward. And we ended up with a fantastic 4th place. And even today, when I think about this day, it's just amazing.
I think in your case, you didn't lose 1st place. You still won 4th place. How were the moments afterwards? Abdel, Maurice, and yourself. You were on the verge of stepping onto that podium, of getting a medal, of being amongst those thousands of people in the O2 Arena in Prague. But you couldn't get onto the podium. You were 4th and you were backstage. How were the emotions then? What did you speak about? How did it go?
The emotions of all of us, I think, was actually a little bit down because we were so on fire and we really wanted to go on this podium. So it was for all of us just a big shame because we said, no, how can it be possible? But afterwards, already after 5 minutes, if you turn this medal on the opposite side,
yeah.
You can also say, it's fantastic where we get. It's fantastic what we did during this weekend. It's fantastic how jumped our horses. I would sign tomorrow or now if my clipper is jumping again in 2021 on the same way, on the same height, same rounds. It would be unbelievable. So honestly, I need just to say thank you to my team, thank you to our fantastic horses to have been able to live this fantastic moment.
Jane, I think anybody who watches this episode of The Insider at home, anybody who watches it will be cheering for you in Prague 2021. There is no doubt about that. The entire team.
I hope so, because I need to do this round again.
Super, super. Jane, did you speak to any of the Shanghai Swans afterwards? They were crowned champions. Deusser, Sweetnam, Fredriksson, Pius Schwitzer, they were all there. Did you speak to them afterwards?
You know, they were such on fire. They have such big emotions. It wasn't possible. It was just possible to say them, well done, guys. It's unbelievable. But honestly, between us, they deserved it. They deserve to be there. They are great riders. They did great sport. They had their consistency in their courses. They did. Honestly, I just can say congratulations. It's well deserved.
Beautiful words. Jane, every time when we have a guest on the Insider at home, we ask them to bring one exercise. You didn't bring one. You brought three. And at first I thought that you were being creative, but there is also a very good motivation why you brought on three exercises. So we'll go through all three of them in our tips and tricks session. Let's have a look. What did you draw for us as first exercise?
Yes, so I draw for you a first exercise. It's a small motivation for rider and horse that we do at home, actually also now during this period, to building up rider, horse abilities and so on. So we have actually together 8 bars. You put them on the floor. You have a diameter from the one bar to the other bar of 12 meters. Or if you are standing in the center of the circle, it's 6 meters down to the bar.
Yeah.
You put 2 bars next to each other. And actually then the rider can start his exercise. He has an inside circle where he can counter in and where he can do the exercise with 3 strides and 4 strides. This exercise he does on left hand and on right hand. Mm-hmm. Then we go on an outside circle, actually the same thing, you do it on left hand and right hand, and you have also 2 options, you counter there your 4 strides or 5 strides between those bars. The goal actually of this exercise is to work on the direction together with your horse, that you get more comfortable to get in other exercises. Then to control your horse between the strides you want to do, to get some impulse of your horse and to get a balance of your horse. And once you manage to do this very well, I think we can go a step forward.
So just understand, the poles are on the ground. Those are not fences.
No, exactly. These are not fences. These are rails, really poles on the ground. They are 3.5 meters long. Yep. And you just put them on the bar, one next to each other, with a diameter of 12 meters.
And do you move from one circle to the next, or do you stop and then go to the outside circle?
I always say, if a horse does something correctly and he is very concentrated on doing this, just leave it, pet your horse, giving a breeze, tell him, okay, we just take a walk, forget about it, and then we start again. We go into it again, maybe on right hand, we change direction, then we go again on a nice walk, we go outside, forget about the exercise, retake it again on a wider circle. It doesn't need to be stress, because a horse cannot give you all this concentration on 20 minutes and being there and you need to. I think it's very important to play a game with them, to just have a nice conversation together.
Super. Next part in our conversation is exercise number 2. Now, it took me some time to figure this out. Okay. I see fences, I see verticals, but they're not straight. What did you build here?
Yes, so now after our first exercise, we go already in another exercise, a little bit more complicated. We have actually straight lines with 3 fences on our straight lines who are built in a diagonal. So to build this line, you need 6 wings and 3 bars. You need to put the wings 11 meters from each other, and the second line 9 meters, like you can see. And on the opposite side, the opposite meters.
Yeah.
Then let's start actually this exercise together with our horse. The first one and the easiest one is just counter this line slightly inside, jump over the bar, do 2 nice strides, jump over the bars, and another 2 nice strides, jump over the bar, out. And you come in from right hand, left hand, so right leg counter, left leg counter, and you get a little into this exercise to change the leads.
How high do you have the fences, approximately?
Or you can build up also for 5 fences, but I actually prefer 3, 4 is enough.
And the height, how high?
The height is okay that you do this not more than 50 centimeter high. Yeah. So it's just exercise, you know, it's gymnastic. Get them supple, get them happy, get them building up their muscles and moving their backs. Very important point, because this movement, otherwise you need to call the vet and you say, oh, my horse has pain and blah, blah, blah. No, I think all this you can adjust with exercises.
All right. So you have the straight line, but you also have the curved line.
Yes, then we have another line, more complicated. So a curving line, getting into this line from left leg counter, asking a flying change over the pole in the middle. You're going on a right leg counter, pushing out your horse with your inside leg against your outside rein, curving this turn, getting over in the middle over the next bar, asking for the next flying change, bringing out your horse again with inside leg, outside leg, and so on. This exercise you do with doing 3 strides there inside.
Okay.
So you curve this line with 3 strides and soften your lines. And all this actually is very important for the flexibility of your horse and the rider, actually both together, to control your horse and also to find the right coordination of your horse. And this is very, very important for the horses, for the rider. The coordination is a must for our sport.
Okay, so we started with a circle. We've taken it over 3 fences who are not in a straight line, but they are in a straight line, but the fences are not straight. And then the third step is something much more technical. What did you build here?
Yes, it's not totally different, because we are working a little bit on the same ability of the horses, but we put on a line, on a curving line, 8 cavalettis. They are not higher than 40 centimeters. You build up an in-out of 3 meters, and then a line to the next in-out of 9 meters. And you build up actually 4 times in-out. So going over this line, you come in from a left leg counter, in-out, going with 2 strides to the next in-out, 2 strides to the next in-out, 2 strides to the next in-out, and so on. It's a curving line because we try to exercise more again the ability, the locomotion of our horse. I love this exercise because you need to do it on very slow fences and very relaxed jumping, to change also in this relaxed jumping the direction, right leg, left leg, right leg, and you can do it in however direction you actually want. And the other part that I actually really like is that I can improve the locomotion of the behind legs and front legs of my horse. And I also do this with horses that I have some problems for 2 strides combinations, for example, in the shows. It helps me to give this coordination.
What do you mean exactly with if you would have difficulties with 2 strides? Do they get too fast through the combination or? What what can you improve?
It's difficult. It depends the horse. It depends the horse, because the very important thing is that they need to stay steady. They need to go on their behind legs and to push out in the right moment in the two strides combination, and to stay calm there inside, to go down, to collect each other together with horse and rider. It's very difficult. You cannot just go in a 1.60 m course and think, okay, we go in and we go out, and it's much more difficult, you know. And it's also very difficult to explain you this feeling, because I think this feeling you need to feel a little bit in yourself together with your horse. But I know that this exercise with the horse, that I have a little bit problems with the two strides, I do it very often. And for him, this exercise makes him the normal combination at the show more relaxed, more easier, more comfortable.
Sounds very good and very interesting. 3 exercises, I think, that can suit many of our fans, those that are riding for pleasure or just for fun at home, or those that are starting to compete or growing up through the ranks. Everybody can take something away from these exercises.
I hope so.
Jane, thank you very much for taking the time and to sit down with us. I know that you're very busy in La Maddalena. I know that you've been through a very tough time as well in the Corona period, that you and your team had to take care of all those 100 horses yourselves, that nobody was allowed to come. So on behalf of the entire team, we really appreciate that you want to take the time and sit down and talk to us. And I hope our fans have enjoyed it as well. Thank you very much. And we cannot wait to see you out on the shows again with us on Global Champions Tour and Global Champions League. And of course, with Noah and your husband Inyas alongside of you.
Thank you very much, Frederick. Thank you very much to the whole team. It was such a great moment to stay together with you, to see you guys, to hear you. And I really hope to see you as soon as possible in life.
We will do, we will do. And to you at home, ladies and gentlemen, fans of The Insider and The Insider at Home, once again, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time for the next episode of The Insider at Home, where we will bring you the very best in show jumping. Bye-bye.